Join me now to discuss the effectiveness of the Bain attacks and other things. Time Magazine's political columnist, Joe Klein. Hey, Joe.
Hey, Andrew.
You've been writing about this, and your take on the Bain attacks and whether or not it works and whether Mitt Romney has to figure out a better way around it?
Well, clearly it's working. I mean, Romney's been on the defensive for 2 weeks now. And, you know, from the beginning, it seemed that the research, the focus groups and all that were very, very powerful on this subject, that this was a major attack that Obama could launch. And what we're seeing now is very similar to the major attacks that were launched in 1988 against Michael Dukakis by George H.W. Bush, and in 2004 by George W. Bush against John Kerry, the SWIFT voting. All three of these politicians come from Massachusetts. I wonder if it's something in the water there. But what you're seeing is a very carefully constructed box. There are small, nails that go into the box, and there are some big rivets that go in there. The small nails are things like this, controversy the last 3 or 4 days of whether the Romney was in charge of Bain Capital from 1999 to 2002. But the biggest piece of this argument are the tax returns. And Romney is going to be hammered on these tax returns until he releases them. And a number of Republicans are now saying that.
Let me show you also the way the Romney campaign has counterattacked, because they've released an ad featuring journalists. Watch this.
When the president was elected, he talked about hope and change. Whatever happened to hope and change? Now it seems he's just coming right out of the box with these old-fashioned negative ads.
By starting negative, by going extremely tough and extremely hard, looking conventional, and frankly running ads that are inaccurate.
Barack Obama's campaign and allies will run more negative ads against this Republican nominee in 2012 than have ever been run in the history of the world.
Whatever happened to hope and change?
I'm Mitt Romney, and I approve this message.
As you can imagine, Joe, not very happy, the anchors and correspondents. This was Bob Schieffer's reaction to being unwittingly put in that ad out of context. Bob Schieffer on Face the Nation yesterday.
I have no connection with the Romney campaign. This was done without our permission. It comes as a total surprise to me.
And NBC issued a statement on the use of David Brooks off of Meet the Press, saying NBC News and MSNBC have not granted any campaign permission to use our news material. As is our practice, we request the Romney campaign refrain from using our material. And Mark Halperin tweeted that to echo what Tom Brokaw said in January when his image and voice were used by the Romney team. I'm extremely uncomfortable with the use of my personal image in this political ad. I do not want my role as a journalist compromised for political gain by any campaign. But bottom line, does it work for them?
It may work. By the way, my position on this is if I say it on your show and they use it, it's fair game. I mean, it's out in the public. And, we can be a little bit thin-skinned sometimes, we journalists. At the same time, though, I think that the Romney campaign has to acknowledge that it has a real problem here with this Bain situation. And the only solution to get out of this is to change the subject. You can name her vice president, or you could do something substantive. Part of the reason why this has been so big in this campaign is that there has been so little substance coming out of the Romney campaign and out of the Obama campaign, for that matter.
Joe Klein. Well, there's no question, though, that Schieffer and the rest were taken completely out of context. That's, I think, their basic argument. They're saying on the one hand, on the other, and what the Romney folks are taking is just one little clip. But but
the thing is that that's done by politicians, other politicians all the time. When we're on the air, we should try and be conscious of that. But it's fair game.
Well,
it ain't beanbag.
I just don't know how you can.
You can't.
How you can protect yourself against being one phrase being taken.
You can't. It's happened to me. It's happened to you. I don't think that my journalistic integrity was compromised by it.
Never. That'll never happen. Joe Klein, thank you very much.